Hey, it's Brent with another question from a reader. It says, hey Brent, this letter is pretty much a testimonial on what your methods have done for me, but there is a question in here as well. I really hope you speak on this, or at least respond to it, so I know you read it. So here it is. I'm very enthusiastic and I get excited easily and I'm passionate about things. I've been rewriting my story daily in all areas of my life, and I added the word always, which is important, guys. When you're telling yourself your story, you want to say, this always happens. So women always approach me. Women always proposition me. Super hot women are always staring at me, and then they walk over and they ask me if I want to go home with them. So always, because you got to train your mind that this isn't a thing that happens once in a while. It happens all the time. As usual. That's another thing. As usual, to add to your story, those two words, and always. Okay, so just train yourself to this happens all the time. This is your life. Of course it is. Okay, so that's a really key thing there. Okay. So I always add the word always, which is very, very profound and makes all the difference. For example, I always have the most beautiful girls chasing me and having sex with me daily. I'm always lucky in everything I do. I'm always successful. I always make every girl I have sex with, have orgasm multiple times. Now all of this is just letting you know what I do, and so far my life is getting better and better. So awesome, good for you. Now to what I'm writing about. I just moved to Vegas from New York City. And when I walk into a club, I treat it like it's my own home, like I'm hosting everybody. Good for you. That's awesome. Every place, you should treat every place like it's your own and like you own it. It's a very good secret there. Okay. I give girls high fives and I make sure not to stay long in any interaction, and sometimes the girls think I work there. That's cool. I've talked about that before. Pretend you're the unofficial host of everywhere you're at. If you just did that, imagine like how many people you'd meet. Like, imagine that. I mean, we meet people all over the world because everywhere we go, we pretend we are the host. Awesome. Okay. So here it is. Last night, I met a hot doctor. Mid-30s, in her mid-30s. I'm 29. She's divorced, and I presume is a 10, because she looked like a 10. And after less than 5 minutes of talking, I give her my number, and she texts me XXX pictures from her phone, and we start making out. True story. I didn't even try to talk about myself. I just asked more things about her. Now she takes me back to her hotel to drop her friends off. Then we go back to my seedy, tacky, cheap motel, and we hook up. We have sex. I give her 2 orgasms. Of course, because that's part of my story. Good for you, buddy. We start talking about marriage and the ills of relationships. Then in our talk, here's where it gets really interesting. She tells me, I love this, by the way, she tells me how sick she is of clingy, needy guys. And this is what gave me the chills. Your exact words, Brent, yours as follows. Okay, so I guess this is what I always say. Okay, number 1. This is her speaking. Number 1, I hate when guys treat me like we're in a relationship when we're not. You know how often you guys do that? Even though you say you want to hook up and you want to just bang all these chicks, you treat girls like they're like you're in a relationship with them. So you're doing all these things that they don't need you to do. You just think they need you to do, but they're actually for you. Yep. Look, you've got automatic programming. You're just going through. You're on autopilot, basically. Okay. Awesome. Number 2, I hate when I'm hooking up with a guy and he tries to tie me down. I just have to bail out and get away from him. He gets too needy and clingy. Yes, absolutely, and guys, I've talked about this many times, is why isn't hooking up with a girl one time enough for you, right? Why isn't it enough for us guys, right? We always think, where that comes from? That comes from a scarcity mentality. Wow, I know what you're thinking. Like, after you hook up with this girl and it's awesome and everything went the right way, you're thinking, okay, I got to make this happen again because I don't know when it's ever going to happen again. I used to operate exactly like that. Never knew when the next hookup was coming, so I might as well extend this one for as long as possible. I know where you're coming from, but it's the wrong way to be, and women don't want you to do that. And in fact, you could have many repeat hookups with the same girl if you just didn't try to. Okay, think about that for a minute. If you just didn't try and you were super cool about it, she would probably ask you for, she would probably not ask you, she already has your number. She would probably just keep texting you to hook up. Okay, so remember, this is what I hear all the time, by the way. Okay, like this guy is saying, I hear this constantly because I talk to women all the time. All right, number 3. She then pulls out her phone and shows me a text from a guy. Then she says, I hate when guys keep texting to check up on me. I just want to have fun and do what I want. Yeah, again, you're operating, when you do stuff like this, women think you're clingy and needy and that you operate in scarcity. You don't operate in abundance, right? And you're attached, right? So you're attached to seeing them again. You're attached to making it happen again, to extending it, to keep it going, which sends them the wrong message. You're not one of the strongest males, believe it or not. I know you've been told that alpha males are the ones who make it happen and they lead girls and they do this. And I'm actually, believe it or not, teaching you the same thing. I'm just teaching you how to lead and be the man and be masculine and be the alpha male in a completely different way. A way that is 100 times as powerful as pursuers. So pursuers, guys who are master pursuers, are not the real true alpha males. True alpha males don't have to pursue. They're pursued by women. Okay, so this is awesome. Okay, number four. She said marriage is just a headache, and she wishes she didn't have to deal with all the drama. Exactly. So, you know, when I'm talking about marriage and relationships and kids and all that kind of stuff, guys, I talk to everybody. So this isn't just, you know, my opinion and a one-sided opinion coming from a guy's perspective. This is coming from also women's perspective. I call it like I see it, and I call it like I hear it. And I hear the same things over and over and over and over again from everybody I talk to, men and women, in every situation. And they're always telling me the same things. I hate being married. I hate the drama. I hate the control. I shouldn't have done that. He seemed like a nice guy. You know, he seemed like marriage material. Yeah, she seemed like, you know, like, it's ridiculous, okay? So, and I can go on and on about that, but I won't, because I want to finish this. So this is great, guys. This is exactly what I'm saying. If you really have a truthful conversation with women, they will tell you this stuff, right? So this is all true. Okay. So the purpose of this email is to let you know that you are on the right path. Thank you. I think so too. And you're really onto something. And I speak with all kinds of people, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 20 people in their 20s, married and single, and they all feel that being married and eventually divorced was one of the most annoying, painful experiences they've ever had. Yes, absolutely. And that is most people's experience with traditional relationships and the way that well, the institution of marriage, right? Because it just doesn't work. It was never intended to work, actually. So that's a whole other deal as well. Yeah, you know what? And I think this is just coming into my mind. I think if we told children that they're enough and they're complete and they can be happy right now instead of, well, you know, it's all cool, but you know what, you'll want to grow up and you'll probably, you know, you'll be happy when you have $1 million and when you get good grades and when you have a family of your own and you get married and you're in a loving relationship, blah, 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 right? We tell them that they have to do that in order to be happy. If we just told kids that they're enough and complete right now and that they can be happy right now, imagine how great relationships would be. But no, it's always, you need this other thing outside of you in order to be happy, in order to complete your life, in order to fill the void that we're telling you that you have, that you don't really have. It's all screwed up, guys. It's all screwed up from childhood. Doesn't mean that you can use that as an excuse. I want you to be aware of it and understand it, and you have the power to change your life. Okay, so I'll go on. So anyway, I'm getting better and better and moving deeper on my path, or in my path, on self-discovery and of living outside the matrix. And so far, I'm learning to walk in the right path of not needing, so being carefree. And the irony is when I internally stop wanting a situation to go further, it just makes it happen faster. Yes, right. Because wanting equates to lack. And if you spend your time in the wanting area, you'll never actually have something. And even on the rare occasion that you get something that you have obsessed about and want, you won't be happy and it's not going to be enough and it will never satisfy you because you thought that it was the answer to fill some void you don't even have. Makes total sense to me, guys. Anyway, and of course right now we've got the street cleaner coming by to clean the street, so I think I'll just take a drink of coffee in a short moment here to let them pass. It's another beautiful day here, by the way, in Southern California. It's awesome to live by the beach and have this view. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yes, so it does happen faster, absolutely. When you stop wanting, now I remember what I was saying. Okay, so it's a perfect time for me to talk about wanting and trying and becoming, okay? You'll move much faster when you stop wanting, you stop trying, and you stop becoming, because all of those lead nowhere. Trying leads nowhere, and becoming leads nowhere. There's only being, doing, and having. And really, there's only being. There's being a person who has and being a person who does. So there's really only being. Okay? Wanting leads nowhere. You could be wanting. I know people who've wanted stuff since they were kids and they're like 80. So wanting's not going to lead anywhere. And when I tell you guys to give up the wanting, give up the needing, give up the fear, I mean it, because it works. Because once you give those things up, you'll just automatically have what it is that you said that you want. There's nothing to get, there's just so they're just things to give up. So I hope that's clear. Okay, anyway, here's the question finally. Okay, the question is, my question in the end of all this is, how do I balance enthusiasm with indifference? Great question. I want to be excited on how my life is going, but at the same time, do I also not care if it happens that way or not? Please respond to my email or make a video. Okay, so yeah, you see, you can be enthusiastic when you don't care if anything happens, because it's called being committed to the process and unattached to the outcome, right? So you're always doing something. That's the idea here, because I have a lot of people ask me that. How do I balance this indifference? Because if I don't care if it happens, then why would it happen, or why would I even want it to happen? Very good question. Because you're always doing something. Okay, so you can lay on your couch and never go out, which is fine, by the way, or you can go out, have a good time, help inspire people, and so on. Right? Either way, you have to be unattached to the outcome. So the process is the thing to be committed to. So it is absolutely possible to be committed to the process of helping people have fun, going out and inspiring people, giving to give, you know, understanding people are in the matrix and understanding that's where they live, and that you could help them escape from that, which is why they're so happy to see you, and why being carefree is attractive enough, even if you never had anything great to say, or if you were never direct with women. That's attractive enough to draw people to you like a magnet. So there's being enthusiastic about being alive. So it's like I said before in another video, it's like when something bad happens or someone in your life passes away or something, it's not focusing on the negative and the fact that they're gone. Celebrate your life. Celebrate their life. So it's celebrate the moment, every moment that you're here. Look, I mean, you know, I celebrate every day, morning that I wake up. Now, am I attached to what happens during the day? No. I'm free. I'm happy now. I don't need anything else to happen. This is enough. This is awesome. I'm alive. I live here in this beautiful place. I help people for a living. Hopefully I inspire you. And that's enough for me. And I'm committed to the process of inspiring you. And I'm committed to the process of living. And I'm committed to the process of celebrating. Okay? So I hope I'm answering your question. You know, again, you want to think of indifference not as something that's negative. And I know that the word indifference, if you tell people that you don't care about stuff, you know, you've been taught and you've experienced in your life that that's supposedly a bad thing. But here's another thing you have to really understand, is you have to be at the point where you don't care that you don't care. Okay, so that you have let go of what not caring means to everybody else, right? And what it's supposed to mean and what people will tell you that means. You got to let all that go. So you have to not care that you don't care, right? Be unattached to being unattached, right? So it's not a bad thing. Being carefree is a wonderful thing. So you just have to think about it like that. Being carefree, why wouldn't you be enthusiastic if you were carefree? Just by nature, if you like, just for the fact that you're carefree. You know, you should have so much enthusiasm because you're carefree to live life and celebrate it. It's not even related to what you think is the downside of being indifferent or what you've been told, because unattachment is not negative. Unattachment is positive. It's the only time you'll ever be free. It's the only time you'll ever be free. So I hope I answered that correctly. I don't know, hopefully I didn't confuse you. But anyway, we can talk about this more in another video. I hope that was helpful to all of you guys, and keep the questions coming. I'll talk to you later.